Hello and welcome to another week of Building Morak. It's been a while. Basically, to explain my short absence, I've been just ridiculously busy over the past few weeks. Mainly due to stuff that is not on the channel, but a couple of things that will be coming to the channel very, very soon. And also... No, there's not an also. I've just been busy, that's basically it. And in order to make up for that, my plan this week is to get a lot of progress done. Basically, you can see this is what we've worked on so far, all the big rock work and mountains and whatnot. This will still be a mountains episode, but this will be finishing this whole thing, what we've been working on. So basically, you can see I've a Technic pin sticking out the side of these bits for quite some time now. And my plan is to finally get a new base plate down here on the end there, and then maybe even if we get time, a second one down here. And that will be the beginning of the lake. So if you remember from my original Morak sketch, that was supposed to cut to a picture of me with the sketch, but I do not have, I've lost the sketch now. I know it's in this room, but there's basically, this room's so messy that I can't find anything in it currently. So I would be showing you the map, but basically I've got my three sections. The juggernaut and all the landscaping over there, which is what we've been primarily working on so far. The base and all that fun refinery stuff. And then the big old bridge that connects them. That bridge is over a lake, and at the end of the lake is a large dam. The plan is to start the lake and finish about half the dam. Finish about half the lake and finish about half the dam. And this side of the rock wall this episode. This intro is going on way too long. I'm just going to get a base plate down, get building, and show you the progress. But not after we hit that intro. Okay, so you can see here I've got my rock work going pretty smoothly. It's not finished yet, obviously still a bunch of stuff to do. But I just wanted to discuss the groundwork a little bit, because you can see here how I've layered it. I think this, because it's going to be like this small like river area running through here, but there's going to be a little bit of a shore just before it meets the rock work. I don't want to keep going with dark tan because I feel like that's going to get a little bit boring. I'm going to actually go with just regular tan moving into this section. And I know that's going to look a little bit weird to some people, going from the water to tan to dark tan, because a lot of people do it the other way around, is dark tan representing wet sand, and then the tan just being normal sand. And I know I've obviously got the reddish brown up here, so reddish brown would also make sense, but you know, just add a little bit of color diversity in there. I know, once again, I've said this a couple times before, not going for 100% accuracy everywhere, just what I think will look the best, and I think tan will look the best here. So let's space that out. Okay, so it's been a little while, it's the next day, since I last worked on the mock, and you can see I've got a nice bit of progress down here. You can see I'm actually quite happy with this colour blocking, which is what I wanted, and I'm quite happy with the distinction between tiles to studs, that kind of ratio. And then you can see I'm slowly moving into the actual riverbed. You can see here that I've actually gone for the idea of using the dark tan to have that, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Wet sand, that's the one. Technique going into dark green, which will represent the deeper water. Now, I know this is not a new technique, it's been used in a load of sets, but I do like it, and I think that will look quite good. And also dark green is also another colour I've not used in the mock yet, so I think that will work quite nicely to show it is still quite, I don't know, just green under there, as it is a nice tropical planet. I do want to add a couple more things into this, like a little bit more of just tiny rocks sticking out both in the water and on the shoreline. And then you can see there's some dark bluish grey along this side here, and you'll have to wait a little bit to find out what that is, unless you've seen the episode and know exactly what that is, but that will be all revealed later. So yeah, let's, I think I'm going to pause on this for the time being and start moving back up into the main rock work and basically figuring out what's going to go here. Well, I know what's going to go here, more rocks are going to go here, but I need to build them, essentially. Okay, so here we go. I've finished this rock cliff. Tried to make it generally quite similar to this one here. I haven't done the top layer yet, which will be a couple of different colors, just because I haven't got there yet. Essentially, I haven't reconnected it. So you can see it's almost looking like a little mock on its own. I'm quite happy with how this is going. You can see here this grey section is slightly building up. I know, finally getting some grey inside of this Star Wars mock. I mean, besides all the vehicles, but finally getting some grey in here. It's been long enough. So, yeah. I think basically what this is representing here is going to be a large dam going like behind here, which is like holds off a big area of water. I know this isn't wonderfully detailed. I've just got regular bricks and masonry in there. If you want me to make that a lot more detailed, I can do by using like a ton of plates, maybe some ingots, some headlight bricks, a bunch of different stuff. I could do that, but I feel like I want to put most of my main details on the actual base itself rather than focusing it here, because like even here you can see like I've got a lot more detail up here than I've got on the actual rock work itself. So that's why I like having it a bit more contrasty. But yeah, let's now work around the back side of this, make sure this is all supported, and then we can reconnect it to the main section back there. Okay, so I've just destroyed the damn wall. I've destroyed the damn wall, and I've destroyed the damn wall. That's funny. Basically, I realized that, as I said before, it is a little bit undetailed, and I know in the actual show it is still quite undetailed, but I think I wanted to give a little bit of something more to it, just because I didn't want it to look completely boring. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, basically, I got a bunch of these pieces recently at a LEGO convention, so I thought I might as well use these to create some details. And I was working out the maths to figure out how long they need to be so I can connect them on 2 points. So I'm basically going to stack them along here to basically just like every now and again to look like little braces and supports on the sides, and then along the top of the dam I'm going to put these pieces along just to make it look a little bit more supported and a bit more strong, just because before it looks a little bit dull. I'm also going to quickly double check and see if it needs to be dark bluish grey or light bluish grey. I've got a lot more masonry in light bluish grey to put in, but I am just going to double check just in case, because accuracy is key, as we all know. But yeah, when you next see this, you'll basically see which I decided on and how they looked with these things integrated into them. Okay, so the dam is up. You can see here I've got a nice little bit of progress done. I'm actually quite liking how this looks. Again, the contrast between the two sides really work, and I think the extra detail really does help it to make it look a lot less boring than it did previously. With these side braces, like I said, annoyingly, because it is sticking out of the rock face, it means like I can't do the lower side here because it would hit the rocks, and I can't do any more continuing along here. But I think what we've got just now, what I might actually do is change 3 studs along that. There's a brick there which I'll just switch out for a hollow stud, just so it looks a little bit more consistent alongside this. But besides that, I'm really liking how this is looking. Along the top, I've got a small little module design which is basically continued throughout, and then there's some other details just going through there. But yeah, I like it a lot. I still haven't quite figured out how I'm going to build it on the other side, just like as an end cap. So you can see when I connect the 2 sides, like so, you can see that all fits nicely, but I do need to somehow bridge the side of that, so I think I may need to move that piece there. So it's going to cause a little bit of meddling around. So that might be a little bit annoying, but I'm going to try and find a solution which leads to as minimal destruction around here as possible, pretty much. But yeah, that's basically how that all looks when it comes together, with the rock side flowing over with the dam next to it. And I'm really happy with how it looks, all as one big chunk. Now, the last thing I need to do in this base plate is basically just finish out the water down here and add some more details to the ground. Right then, so I have finished another base plate of the mock. Hopefully you can see down here I've finished up all the water and got some nice details going down. You can see I've got some rocks in the water, even a little fishy over there, which I just wanted to throw in for a little bit of fun. And then another one down there. You can see I've used trans clear chi slopes around the actual rock faces, purely just so it looks like crashing water, and I've oriented the tiles so it looks like it's flowing downwards, and also a couple of little rocks on the beach as well, just so it doesn't stay too boring in front of the big old dam. And yeah, I decided to put this little piece in here instead of the hollow stud, just because it fits the other bar pieces a lot more accurately, so I'm quite happy with how that looks. And I also switched around the orientation of this top bit as well, but which took way longer than it should have done. But there we go, that means that this base plate is now complete. Took me long enough. So what am I going to do now? Yeah, I'm going to immediately start on the second one. Should probably save this to next week's progress, but you know, I'm not very good at keeping up to date with weeks, so we're going to get 2 base plates done this episode. Let's move straight over to the next one, shall we? Okay, here we are starting at the second base plate. I realised I didn't show you this last time, but this is basically how I started the underside of them, because the water needs to start one stud up to fit in all my Technic bricks for the modular system. Okay, and now the second base plate is also got some nice progress to it. You can see here I've got the beach area done, another couple of small rocks in the water and on the main beach. There are missing a couple of dark tan cheese slopes, which I'll put on there quite soon. The same technique as before with like the water, like using cheese slopes is like crushing water around it to imply that the river's flowing this way. And then, yeah, that same technique with, you can see there's like a slightly shoreline into there with the dark tan going into dark green for the main body of water to make it look deeper as it goes out. And now we can start the rock wall itself going along here, going upwards. Let's build it. So you can see I've finished this second side rock wall. That was the first one which we did previously. It's still looking pretty spiffy. And now you move over here, you see if I do line up correctly with all, this will all line up when it's on a more flat surface. But this is how my riverbed lies, goes round and round and round. Very nice. That still needs a wedge plate there, but I need to order that off Bricklink. But yeah, and you can see the rocks will match up as well. You might be wondering, Sam, why has the rock stopped significantly before where it needs to? Well, this is basically I'm leaving as an open canvas for later, because this is where I'm going to attach my bridge on top of these studs. So if I spin this around for you, you can see I've made it very sturdy, because this is what is going to support the entire bridge. It's going to be about 5 studs along. And then on this bit is where the other half of that is going to end up lying. So it's going to be quite interesting when I eventually put this all back together. But yeah, I'm quite happy with where I've gotten on this. And it's time to move on. And here we go, that's with the 2 parts together. This is what we've done before. All of this is a mess over here. You can see there's a random TIE fighter crashed into the pit down here. But basically this is what we've got together. You can see it does nicely fold over, and these 2 bits do connect nicely with the dam running up the side there. But yeah, I'm really happy with this week's progress. I got a lot of stuff done. And again, sorry for the delay, but hopefully this is worth it. Next week, I'm going to try and work on this corner section, and then we'll see what goes on from there. But thank you so much for watching this week's update. I hope you liked it. If you did, like the video. That's what the like button's there for. Comment if you think this dam looks good. I think it doesn't look too bad. But subscribe if you're new so you do not miss the next little update, which should be coming next Monday. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and goodbye.